Okay, due to popular demand, you guys out there in internet world wanted to see another video of me brewing, so here we go. I'll try and put something different in it this time that you might enjoy. So it's just it's just a IPA. Here's the recipe here. You might be able to see it. That's from our supplier. They've got a program called Brew Builder that puts together. It's a standard sort of recipe, and it works out based on my brewhouse efficiency and volumes. It works out exactly what weights I need, and me, just because I'm pedantic, I transfer it into Beersmith, which all I after here is the sparge water amount, so about 8 litres of sparge water. So that's the urn I've got that holds 10, so that covers me sparge water. So again, this is on the Braumeister. That's Louis. Hello, Louis. Okay, so filling up. As I've said before, 27 litres is my magic number for this. I've actually marked at the extra 5 litre mark on the Braumeister, so that's 30 litres, so we fill it up to 27, and I'll start draining some off in a minute with this to get about 8 litres of sparge water in there. But what I wanted to show you guys first is some modifications I've made here. I don't use those stupid stainless steel the stainless steel filters on the bottom and tops of these things. I use this stuff called pet mesh. It's like a really high density polyethylene product that they use in fly screen doors. It's supposed to stop cats and dogs scratching through your fly screen, and it works a treat, an absolute treat. So I've got it on the bottom screen and I've got it on the top screen, and I also use this rubber piece around the edge with some clips on it just to hold it, and it's just so easy to clean. It's great. Yeah. Okay, so this screen I've got here, I'll just take it apart and show you, because everyone's going to ask questions why and what it is and all the rest of it. So first of all, this is the top screen, standard stainless steel screen. What I've done is I've also cut down, as you can see with the bottom one, I've probably cut off I don't know, 10 mil, half an inch off this pipe. This is just so when it goes in and the bar goes over the top, it just gives me that tiny bit more room for malt, so I can get a bit more malt in the pipe. You don't have to cut that off. I wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't advise doing anything I say. I'm just saying this is what I do. Now this is the rubber seal that I use. It goes around the top of the top seal. So that's the profile. It's just a U-shape profile rubber. So what I do is I split it. Actually, this goes on the bottom. As you can see, this pet mesh stuff, it just doesn't fray like the metal. The stainless steel is an absolute pain. It just frays, the stainless steel frays, and it's terrible, and you can never get the grains out of it. Where this stuff, I've done about 20 brews with this, and it's as good as the day I bought it. But if you can get hold of something like this, in Australia we've got a shop called Clark Rubber that sells all different rubber stuff, and that's just where I got this extruded piece of rubber from. So it just goes around like that, and where it joins, get it together. Thanks to my work, I use this, it's just a paper clip, like a little clip thing for clipping paper together. Push that there, bang, so that holds that there, and I just put another one over this side. Not that I need it, but it just goes on there. So that just holds, and that's all they are. They're like a little paper clip. So that's ready to go. So that's all I use. That's the bottom screen. That's simple. So I've got my 27 litres, got about 8 litres of sparge water in there. It's just heating up. Look out, dog. Now, we've got 27 litres here. Yep. Now, people have asked why I ventilate the pump. If you don't ventilate the pump, it just won't start up for some reason. It'll just keep cycling and won't start. So what you do, once you've got your water in there, come down here, go manual, and just turn the pump on, and you'll see the bubbles come up. And then you just turn it on or off, and then on again. Do that 2 or 3 times. One more time, just until the bubbles stop coming out. Don't ask me why, but the pump must be sensitive or something. I give up, and you just got to ventilate the pump. Just trust me. I don't know why, but that's fine. So what I do now, we'll come down here. We'll just turn it off manual. Now, what I'm going to do is set it for the brew. So what I do is I mash overnight. So I'll turn it on at night before I go to bed. So my mashing temperature is 10 degrees. Now the first phase is maximum, which is 255 minutes at 12 degrees. Doesn't really matter. It just means it's just going to sit there for about 3 or 4 hours and not do anything, which is fine. So effectively the first phase after that is 15 minutes at 53 for a protein rest. Not that it really needs it, but that's what I do. Then half an hour at 62, 60 minutes at 72, 15 minutes at 76, and a 90-minute boil at maximum temperature. So that's basically it, and that I can kick that off tonight, and it'll be ready to boil in the morning when I wake up. So that's that. Don't know what else you guys will see on this video that you want to ask questions about. They're push bikes. That's a motorbike. Drill press. This is my grain. It's nothing special. It's just crushed pretty normal. Just a regular crush. Bit finer than normal, but it's pretty. I get a good efficiency out of that. So we've got just some pale malt, bit of Munich, bit of wheat, bit of Carry Munich. Actually, that's probably better. Yeah, so we've got some ale, wheat, light Munich, Carry Munich. It's just a standard budget bittering that my local supplier sells. It's really high alpha, and it's just basically just to get the bittering up. And basically it's all Amarillo for 20 minutes and 1 minute. And we'll see how we go. So, get that ready. Okay, that's the mash just about done. Just to let you know, it's been about 4 months since I've got to this part. The element blew in the Braumeister, so I had to get another element from Germany. So I'm not sure what I started with before, but this is an APA, so it's just about finished. So we're just ramping up to 78 for a mash out. Since then, I've made a stainless steel bench to brew on. Had that before, and yeah, I had to make an extract brew to see me through. So things have been a bit desperate, a bit dire, but we're going good. We're going good. Okay, time to remove the pipe. It's all done. That's what I got in there. Looks pretty good. This aside, cleaning. So, oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, not bad at all. So what I do now, because it's going to take a little while to ramp up, I'll just kick the boil off while I'm sparging with my 8 litres, 8.5 litres of water, I think, with this one. Okay, so tip that in. Actually, what I do, just to spread the water out, the sparge water out, I'll put that back in. I'll just tip that over there. And as I've said before, many times, I do this nice and slow. Yeah, otherwise, if you pile all the water in, it'll make a channel and just rinses through too fast. So just nice and slow, there's no hurry. Boil started, can't do it any quicker than this. So, yeah, so I just wait for that to pretty much stop running. I'd add another 3 litres and then just the rest, and we'll bring up to my final boil volume. Okay, and that's the last of the sparge water going in. And we're up to 83, so give that a few minutes. What I will show you is some excellent books. So there's your Bible. That's How to Brew by John Palmer. That's just the basics, but pretty much everything you need to know. It's a great book. That's another one by Ray Daniels, Designing Great Beers. It's a good book. Radical Brewing by Randy Mosher. That's excellent. It's got some good recipes in there too. Greg Noonan book, New Brewing Lager Beers. That's a great read too. And Brew Like a Monk. That's a very good book too. So pretty much that's got everything covered in them books. But really, if you need for your first book, that's the one to get by John Palmer. It's also available on the web. Yeah, this is me just removing it, moving the pipe. I put an extra mark on the centre post there for 30 litres, and that's my brew volume. So I'm just letting the last of this run out, because at that level the wort still touches the mash underneath the bottom screen, so this just gets the last of it out. So let's hit the 30 litre mark. I'll go and feed that to the chickens. Okay, so as I said before, using this pet mesh, this I don't know what it is, polypropylene or something, fly screen wire, door wire. It just simple hose out and gets all the grain out. Not like those stupid, the stainless steel mesh that comes with it. It's a bloody nightmare. It's all frays on the edge, and I think I spoke about it before. So anyway, just a little hose. All this comes up good. I'll leave it to dry, and again, that's that. The top screen, take it apart, doesn't matter. They just, oh, come on. So yeah, it's good to take it apart. It's a grain caught in there and that, but so that's good. Give this a dry. And that's good. So I like to clean up as I go, because that way the grain doesn't get a chance to dry and stick to stick to the malt pipe. So that's good. So I've got the lid on the kettle now and she's boiling and everything's good. Just waiting. What's that doing? Oh, it's doing a pump rest now. So the pump's having a rest, element stays on. And so I've got my hop additions ready. So that's the 60 minute or 90 minute, the 20 minute and the 1 minute. So it's just Amarillo and this is just a high alpha bittering hop. So it's just an APA I'm doing. Okay, to sanitize my fermenter, this is a 30 litre olive oil drum I got in Australia. They use it for storing olive oil. I mix up 2 litres of water with 2 mils of iodophor and I just tip that in there. Just swish it round, let it drain. I'll do a little drain out the tap and I'll tip that back into this container just to sterilise my spoon and whatever. Later on, if anything's going to come in contact with the boil, I'll leave it in there. So that will, I'll just leave that now upside down to, doesn't matter if it doesn't get fully dry, just to drain while I'm doing the boil. Okay, so we're boiling now. I forgot to say before, the pump actually turns off at about 90 degrees, so we're 3 minutes into the 90-minute boil. So it's up to you with your recipe whether you want to add hops for 90 minutes or 60 minutes. With this one, because I'm using a very high alpha acid hop, it's 13.5 alpha acid. It's only going to need 60 minutes. So I use Brewman, so get that out now. I'm using a dry yeast this time, just USO5, and everything's good. And the program states that working on 80% efficiency, I should have an estimated pre-boil gravity of 1047. So I'll have a look here in my in here. We'll see if you can pick that up. As far as I can see, that's close enough to 1047, about 1046. So that'll come down nicely, and we should finish up with about a gravity of 1056, so she'll have a nice boot to it. Okay, here are the 60-minute hop additions. Give that a little stir. And the next hop additions are at 20 minutes. Time for 20-minute additions. Amarillo. Oh, it smells good. Okay, we're about 4 minutes to go. So I'll get the immersion chiller, drop that in, sterilise for a bit. So I've got my 1 minute additions ready to go there. Amarillo. Yeast's over there. I've mixed up some Brewman in here to a little water. I used to use the little tablet Whirlflock, but this stuff's incredible. I'll show you when I put that in. That's just don't look at that. I only kegged it last night. It's the extract brew I made when the element was down. It's yeah, it's only early. It's a bit green. It's not bad, but yeah, so wait till that fires up again. 3 minutes. I like to put this in with about a minute to go, or 2 minutes to go, and then I'll add my last minute additions of hops at 1 minute. Okay, so a couple of minutes to go. This is the brew bright going in. Just watch this, it's absolutely incredible. It just, as John Palmer explains, it turns it to like egg drop soup. So if I put it in, you just watch how quick it all clumps together. There you go. All the protein just clumping together. And obviously when it stops boiling, that'll just fall out down to the bottom. It does a great job. It's slightly better than Whirlfloc, I think. But I love it, it's great. So what have we got? A minute to go. I'll throw these hops in. And there we go. Okay, finished. This thing's going off its nut now, so quit. Now I'll show you what I do. So the immersion chiller's in there. I've got the out. It goes to this hose that runs up into the gutter of the house, and that goes back to the tank. And this is the hose that comes from the tank. So the tank's full and it's absolutely freezing at the moment, so it'll bring it down nice and quick. Plug that in and she's away. So what I will show you, so that's away. You can hear it going down the drain over there. So what I do now is I switch it to manual. So as you can see, it's at 98 degrees, and when it gets down to 90, the pump will kick in. So I turn the pump on, and when that drops down to 90, the pump will come in and it just circulates the wort, so it cools down a lot quicker. That's dropping really quick now. So come back up here and you'll see the pump will kick in a minute. Yeah, that's really hot, the one coming out. The one going in's nice and cold. There you go, it's the pump coming on now, and it recirculates. All that trub settles out anyway, the tube settles out. The pump obviously breaks up a lot of that protein and that from the larger particles to smaller stuff, but it all drops out and will drop clear, as you'll see in a bit. So, because that's just recirculating tank water, I'll let that go for 20 minutes now and get it down to about 30 degrees, and then I'll let it sit and we'll put it in the fermenter. Okay, we're down to 30 degrees now. That'll do. That'll only took 10-15 minutes. So I'll take the chiller out. Turn the pump off. There's my brewing partner here, Big Louie. You help me brew, don't you, mate? Hey? You're a good boy. In Daddy's chair. Hey? In Daddy's chair. Oh, it's a big day brewing, isn't it? Alright, so that'll all settle out. I'll leave that 10-15 minutes, then we'll drain into the fermenter. Don't know if you can see that, but that's 10:54, 10:55 actually. So, all right. So it's for you mathematicians out there. So that's a 30 litre mark. So after an hour and a half boil, it's right at the 25 litre mark. So with a pre-boil volume of 30 litres, hour and a half boil, lost 5 litres, 25 litres left, and as you'll see, we'll get about 22 litres in the fermenter, which puts 19 litres in my keg, and that's all I want. So we'll see how we go here. Alright. What I do, just drain that in. I just hold the fermenter up a little bit because it foams up a bit much to start with anyway. It's running nice and clear. Okay, just out of interest, because the tap's up a little bit high on this, about an inch or so, inch and a half, 2 inches off the bottom, once it gets to the tap, I mean, I've experimented with pickup tubes and all sorts of things, but the easiest thing to do is obviously brew a little bit more, but to get that extra litre out. So now it's starting to, it's down to the level of the tap. All I do is I just tip the Braumeister slightly. I want to keep this one pretty clear because I'll probably keep a bit of this yeast, but I don't mind a bit of that stuff getting into the fermenter. It's fine. Yeah, so that's it there. Okay, so put this bad boy in the fridge. I've never understood why people freak out so much about airlocks and bloody bubbling airlocks and all that crap. All I do, drop the temperature probe in there, the old cling wrap, straightforward. Okay. Everyone's a winner. And that goes in the fridge. Okay. Plug this in. And about 28, yep, 28 degrees. So when that gets to about 22, I'll pitch that yeast. We'll do cleanup now. Okay, I put about 3 litres of water in the bottom with a little bit of powder brewery wash, and just use one of these scrubbers and just run it around the edges. Run it around the edges, run it around the element, even though the element's on, so I heat it up to about 30 degrees. It's not hot to the touch, it's just warm. Run it round, just gets all the crap off the element, and then down to the bottom one. Get it under that bottom element. Run it round. And that's it. Too easy. It all feels pretty clean. And that's it. I'll tip it upside down and rinse it, drain it, pull the pump apart as you've seen before, and that's it. And this is the final part. I just pull the pump apart and just make sure all those holes are clear through. There's no hops blocking them. Just give this a little dry out, and there is a rubber O-ring inside there, but yeah, it comes out sometimes. It's been re-greased, so it sticks in there at the moment. That's it. So if you've got any questions, send me a message and ask me some questions, or if you want to see me brew something different, let me know.